Hello and welcome everyone to Anfield Road TV. I hope you all had a very good end to your weekend anyway. Tonight's episode will be going into the Liverpool game, a bit about the Premier League matches as well, and most importantly, your thoughts on the Reds in terms of absolutely bloody flying this season as well. But Reds, if you are new around here and want to keep up to date on all things Liverpool, whether that be pre-match, post-match shows as well, or in the live streams as well, do get involved. And if you are watching this on the repeat, let us know your thoughts on obviously the big result for Liverpool, which obviously moves Liverpool 6 points clear of Arsenal in second anyway. And a very good result yesterday, in all being said anyway. A very solid performance. Obviously, as we know, Brentford only lose, and prior to yesterday's game, only 2 times at home. So they had a very much a formidable record as we knew going into that game. Yet Liverpool did win 4-1 the previous season, but even still, it's always been a game that Liverpool, in transition, certainly on the counter-attacks, Brentford are a side that have very much threatened Liverpool in previous years gone by as well, everyone. If you are new around here, make sure you do hit that subscribe button down below. Do drop a like on the video as well, not just on my videos, just on any content really that you watch across social media platform. For all your content creators that you do enjoy watching or whatnot, really does help out everyone in terms of the algorithm and all that malarkey, really. But Damo, how are we, lads? I didn't even read your comments. I just said, "How are we?" As Damo said, as Darwin might say, "How are we?" Nunez. Chat. I'm hoping you like, even if you've gone to work or you've shouted Nunez at your boss. Probably not best advice, especially if you're a Man United fan after today. But you know, so you can't know what's their fault for picking Manchester United as a team to support, really. But yeah, Man City, we'll go through their game, their goal scorers as well. We'll go through a couple of obviously all the results anyway this week in terms of how they have panned out, really. But Damo, hope you're well, mate, and I'm pretty sure before you went to bed, lad, you were shouting Nunez out your window or something or whatnot, lad. Anyway, but yeah, I'm made up. I think we all are as a collective fan base. And you know me, Chas, coming into this season, I think the 2 players, well, maybe 2 or 3 players coming into this year, I wanted to see a much improved, bigger performance from, especially Luis Diaz. He started life to the Premier League this season really well. I think he was Liverpool's star man at the beginning of the year, very instrumental. I think he got like 5-6 goals in the first couple of weeks anyway. And Dominic Szoboszlai, I think we've certainly seen when he has been playing this season a much improved performance from his point of view, really. And obviously Darwin Nunez was the other one of those 3 players, really. This season, disappointing, but I'll tell you what, if he goes into the back end of this season and he's not single-handedly, but very much fires Liverpool towards the title, massively does help out in terms of his development. I think most importantly, we just want Nunez to be scoring goals. And yesterday showed, as we will speak about tonight, was the simple things with Nunez. I think every Liverpool fan, when we've analysed him and analysed certain players in the team, it is understandable. I think the pressure. If you haven't seen the podcast with, I watched was it last night, the Thierry Henry podcast. It was very informative, really. It was interesting just to get into the mind of Thierry Henry, and I think sometimes you do get lost as a football fan about these footballers. Yes, they are multi-millionaires, but at the end of the day, like everyone, they're just people. And people go through ups and downs, whatever, day to day, week to week. And Darwin Nunez was 100%. He's human. He wants to be scoring 20, 30 goals in Liverpool shirts. I don't think anyone more than him than himself, really. And he's went through a difficult couple of months. But of course, the pressure of playing for Liverpool or any other top side. But hopefully, he has put that all behind him now. We did say that in previous seasons, but I do think the players and the infrastructure, and especially Arne Slot as a manager, first and foremost, really, you look and analyse that Liverpool team. He's only been in here, 4, 5, 6 months at Liverpool, and he's very much made a lot of those players much better, really. So now, hopefully, The one thing that, as a fan base, that we do well, I'd say, as a collective, really, when everyone critiques players, and that's what we do as fans, the players go through good and bad form. I'll critique a player here and there, but I think one thing that we, as a fan base, as Liverpool fans around the world, we see a player struggling, but as long as they're putting 100% effort in and they are working hard, it's not like a case of Nunez. He's not been just lazing around the pitch. He's been working hard. But sometimes, as yesterday very much did show with Darwin Nunez, he's been working too hard. Right, certainly, all he had to do, like he did yesterday, he was only on the pitch for a matter of moments anyway, and he relaxed. He was in the 6-yard box, and Nunez. That's all you have to do, lad. Just be in the right place at the right time. There's been plenty of great elite level strikers in the history of world football in the last 100 plus odd years. That just poachers. Yes, Nunez's skill set but one of his biggest skill set is very much his pace. But certainly that technical understanding as well. You see him at moments in his time at Liverpool. It's technical understanding with Mohamed Salah. I think that's probably one of his best assets as a player. Those two seem to, in his Liverpool career, have an understanding. I think statistically, I think the combination play between Salah and Nunez, whether it's been goals or assists or vice versa, with both of them, I think they've combined probably the most in the last, 12, 15 months or 16 months, whatever it has been. So there's positives, and certainly there's a lot of positives coming off the back of yesterday's game. So hopefully now he just put everything behind him and just get in the 6-yard box. It's simple, Newton Darwin. And I was chatting. If you haven't seen so definitely check out the Thierry Henry interview. It was a great one. I think it was Diary of a CEO or whatever it was. I think obviously the YouTube channel or whatnot. That's Stephen. I can't remember the second name, but check it out. Very, very informative, really, especially the mind of Thierry Henry and obviously the difficulties in which he went through as a player that was at the top of world football, and certainly, but just goes to show everyone's human. I think as long as you're respectful to everyone and make sure, most importantly, everyone's safe and well and all that. But yeah, 100%. Big up there, Neil. Darwin needs to push on now. 100%, miss. 100%. Fully agree with that, bud. I think we all always agree with that, mate. Less work, actually, and score more. Yeah, Neil. How do you deal with that in terms of that, Neil, in your regard, in your analysis, really? Because, and big up there, Damo. Let us know your thoughts on Darwin Nunez, because I think that obviously, quite rightly so, was the biggest talking point off the game, the back of yesterday's game. We'll quickly go into I'll quickly boost up this anyway, in terms of get a foot mob up anyway. When you look at the, we'll get through obviously plenty of the game yesterday. To get Nunez's up in terms of his statistics. Obviously, the big ones, 2 goals. He got on foot mob, he got an 8.6. I think him, Trent. So when you analyze the game by numbers, can you see that, Charles? Hopefully you can. There you go. That's the big one. He's only been on the pitch 25 minutes, and what a bloody impact he has had, really, in that regard. So he was on the pitch for a matter of 25 minutes, 2 goals, 0 assists, total shots, did register 4, as we know. Expected XG 0.85, fantasy points. Woo! If you've been playing fantasy football anyway, shot accuracy 2 out of 4. But a staggering one is that one. Obviously, the touches, really, from Darwin Nunez in yesterday's game. He only registered 10 touches within the game, but obviously the most important thing was Liverpool as a team really fundamentally found Darwin Nunez in and around the penalty area, really. So it's that's what you want, whether that's Jota, whether that's Nunez, any player coming off the bench. And certainly when we analyse Federico Chiesa as well, obviously he come on for like a 3-minute spell, but I think it was more made up for him, Nunez and Chiesa, because I don't know if you've seen very much the is it the celebration image of obviously Chiesa, and obviously we've seen all the I think apart from watching all the highlights from yesterday, I think every Liverpool fan especially has been watching the Arsenal meltdown after yesterday's game. We'll get to that Arsenal game as well, Reds. But yeah, enjoy it. And I made up for Federico Chiesa. And big O, if you've got Amazon Prime, go and check out that Chiesa documentary. Obviously, it was the documentary. Obviously, you got being Juve, and then obviously you've got the Chiesa, just like a little film. I think it's like an hour and 20. I watched it last night. It was very, very good. I think that he's got a great upbringing, Chiesa, and I 100% feel as long as he can avoid injuries at Liverpool, he's going to be a very special player for Liverpool. And I think even when you analyse and you look past the post-Mohamed Salah era at Liverpool, I think Chiesa, he's got all the attributes, certainly from a technical point of view. I think he'll be a top player, really. And I'm hoping that he can reach that potential in which we did see in the Italian national team, and certainly at times at Juve, and certainly prior to obviously his move to Juve and Fiorentina. So it's one of them. But there's a lot of positives really to go in, because what is it now, chat? We'll speak about the Arsenal game in a bit. We'll have a look at their fixtures in terms of how they deal with it. But I think Liverpool, as a fan base, I think all of us even, just one game at a time. I know it's the boring mantra, but I think it just goes to show. Look at a big result for Forest again today. I know a lot of people outside the top four or in and around, some people competing for top four, top five, are going, Forest to fall off, but they won't. The main thing is, if you can keep Chris Wood fit, getting goals is so important, like it was for Liverpool yesterday as well. And we'll get to that Tottenham game. How is Ange Postecoglou still on the job, by the way, chat? Madness. Absolute madness as well. Yeah, 100%. Needs to be ruthless. Because we've had many of the great strikers. There was periods, John Aldridge, remember when he come to Liverpool, he went through a very barren start to life at his Liverpool career, and then we know how that turned out, a very illustrious, successful career in a red shirt. Was it Peter Crouch went a very long time without scoring a goal, and obviously Peter Crouch was very much a fan favourite, one of my favourite players growing up. I tell you, such a big lad, such great technical ability on the ball. Loved the goal against Arsenal as well. I always remember watching at home. The classic Peter Crouch, the perfect hat trick. One was left, one was right, and one was there to bang. And and he come out with the most best line as a footballer. But yeah, if you haven't seen that anyway. But yeah, big up there, Damo. Saw Nunez's translated interview with Sky Sports. Yeah, it's great, that Damo. I think as an organisation, Sky, even BT, and even LFC TV or whatnot, I think obviously the money and the resources that they've got, it would be interesting. It's great, especially the global network in terms of sports fans, especially Liverpool fans as well. We've got so many fans in South America, in England, in Liverpool, or around the world. But it just adds a bit more of an added dimension to your broadcasting, really. I think it's really good, especially when you've got very amazing journalists that can speak about 6-7 languages. Sadly, I can only speak 2 languages, Scouse and English a bit, but we'll pass on that anyway. But yeah, amazing reporter there, and it was a great interview, Damo, wasn't it? It was great to see him being confident, especially and just very much articulating himself, really, and first and foremost, as he said, he's wanting to be fighting for the team, and he wouldn't throw in the towel as well, which is that's what we love at Liverpool. You never walk alone stands for a lot, really, as a football club and as a song, really. And I think for every football player that has come to Liverpool, Coutinho left us, but I think it was only recently done an interview. It was only a couple of weeks ago, and he massively regrets leaving Liverpool. So Klopp did warn you, Phil. You would have won a couple of trophies, certainly would have won a Champions League at Liverpool. You would have went down as certainly in the past, one of the best players to play for Liverpool in the last 20, 30 odd years anyway. So it is what it is. But I suppose he wanted his big money move to Barcelona, and sadly for him, it didn't work out. But Liverpool were the massive beneficiaries. We bought Ali and we bought Virgil van Dijk as well. And yeah, if we would have sold Coutinho, would you have got those 2 players? Who knows? I'm not Mystic Meg, sadly. I haven't got a crystal ball, and I highly doubt the club would have spent all that money if we didn't have Barca. I think Barca, as we know, financially is still recovering from that transfer not just that one, but a lot of transfers in the past anyway. Doesn't help when you're paying like Messi about 50, 60, 60 odd million a year anyway, but it's not quite, it's not cheap keeping the best footballer at your football club anyway. But if I was Messi, chat, I think all of us, if you were Messi and you love playing for Barca, you'd play for Barca for 20 quid. I know that's not logistically possible because you've got to pay footballers a proper salary anyway. But yeah, how much money can millionaire get? But I suppose that's why you have billionaires in the world. They love money. I think everyone loves money anyway. But yeah, it was a great day, Damo. Nice one for your comment, bud. It should have just started that super sub chaos against the tired and legs. Because it could be a case of that, mate. But even still, technical understanding as well. Arne Slot and the technical lads would have told him exactly what he needed to do, coming on the pitch, making an impact, really. And it's one thing. And in his Liverpool career, I think statistically speaking, Nunez, he's been a massive beneficiary off the bench. I think even still, whether you're a first teamer in any football club, especially Liverpool, you need to be ready. And I think that's one thing that Slot has said from the get-go. When he spoke about Quanta on the first week, said obviously he wasn't happy. He took him out, and then he's brought him back in this season. So at the end of the day, Liverpool, we want to have the most competitive squad as we possibly can. And that's why I think all of us, quite rightly so, we've got 11 days left in the transfer window or whatnot. But we need one or two quality, I'd say, world-class players into that squad. And if you do throw like two extra world-class players for like the case of like two 40, 50 million pound players, it just rises the expectation, it rises the quality. I think obviously you look at the Virgil van Dijk and certain quotes over the last couple of seasons, like in every great squad. Sorry to go back, but bloody Fergie. But Fergie was the master of it. And the top managers in world football that in the history have always developed a squad. They brought players in, and it's the most important thing. If you're a player in a team or whatnot, you want to be on your toes. Like, and especially if you see like some brand spanking new signing come in that is like he's going for your position. If you're playing left wing or whatnot, it just raises your level really. And it's important that if we do hopefully do the business this season, there's a long way to go. We're only in January. A lot can happen in football, but if our lads will keep their heads, keep working hard as they already have done so far this season, the world is the oyster, to say the least. Really, it's sky high. Really, what we can achieve this season. We just got to focus on ourselves, like we have in the Champions League. I think the way in which we started the life in European competition has been amazing. And chat, would you be disappointed if Liverpool didn't win all the like Champions League group games? There's a bit of obviously we got the watch along on Tuesday as well, and a massive thank you to everyone that is tuned in, and obviously Anfield Index, everyone that's come over from my channel as well. Really do appreciate your support as always, everyone, and had the great opportunity of meeting everyone on Anfield Index as well, all the listeners, all the viewers as well. Very grateful, and I'm made up to start at this season and do a bit more work behind the scenes as well, which I'm very, very grateful for as well. And hopefully it's a very successful season for everyone, for every Red as well. But nice one, everyone that's tuned over. And anyone that's come over as well, much appreciated. As always, everyone's welcome. Big up there, chat. Massive thank you, chat. If you haven't already done so, do drop a like on the video as well. Everyone massively helps out. Thank you. But could be, yeah. So it's a bit of mixed with that one here, though. But 100% agree where you're coming from, bud. Doug, how are we, lads? I'll see you next week, hopefully. Yeah, I'm literally looking at my schedule above my desk anyway. So yeah, I'll be seeing you next week, lad. Looking forward to that. Look after yourself as well, bud. I'd start Darwin versus Leo, maybe. Possibly, mate. As I said, with I want us to go eight wins from a possible 8 and make history. I know it's obviously the first year that it's been incorporated, this new format, but it would be great. A little bit of history along the way, and especially just allows Liverpool to, especially when those Champions League, obviously the next round, obviously prior to obviously the knockouts, obviously everyone that finishes outside the top 8, because then obviously 8, 9 downwards. Is it 22, 23 or whatever the place stops at, they've just got to go to battle in 2 legs then as well. So that week, Liverpool will probably be playing you'd like to think that we might be getting rest, but obviously we've still got the Everton game still to play, so that'll be getting thrown in there as well. So yeah, I'd say rotation will be key, Doug. I think 100% with that, mate. Looking forward to coming. Yeah, see you there, mate. 100%. The entitlement of some Arsenal fans. Oh, we'll get on to them, Davo. We will get on. We will be there. We will be there. Arteta, get your speakers out, lad. What is it? The Ricky Gervais in the office when he gets the speaker. Oh, not Ricky Gervais. Is it the American office? Is it the yeah. What phase is Arteta in? Pass it on. It's just great. Yeah, it is great, mate. It is absolutely great. This was meant to be their year, allegedly. Well, the game, you're not winning anything with Kai Havertz up front. I'm sorry, and they're not even playing Kai Havertz in the right position. He's not a striker. What's this fascination of Chelsea managers and Arsenal managers playing Kai Havertz in a striker role? Fair enough if he was on the level of Bobby Firmino, where it was a Kai Havertz that would bring players into play, but he misses shots from about 2 yards. Like Kai Havertz is a central attacking midfielder. I think was it last week or the week before? Arteta was playing on right wing, and then he brought on. Was it before Jesus got injured? He brought was it Trossard or Jesus through the middle, and then used the 6'3" lad on the wing to then start crossing the ball in. Like Arteta, like nah, like you're Arsenal manager. Like fair enough if you want to go full on Stoke City and big up Stoke City in disguise. Arsenal fans lambasted in the Arsene Wenger era Stoke City for playing the way they did with the throw-ins, the corners, and everything. But now, because the shoe's on the other foot and they're winning games, and yeah, set pieces are a massive part. Have been for the bloody since the invention of football. Like it's part and parcel of the game. But when your whole game plan, and don't get me started on that set piece coach chat. I think if you haven't seen the latest episodes of the Overlap with Carragher, and I think Gary Neville went on an absolute rant, and I fully agree. Very rare I do agree with Gary Neville, but on this occasion I will. Yeah, he was spot on because they're doing murals. It's like the Everton fans were doing murals of if you didn't see it, type it into Google. There was a mural of Dele Alli, Donny van de Beek. Who else was it? And there was a load of other Everton players that were all on loan, and they left 6 months later. I think it was and Richarlison. So, yeah, it is what it is. But yeah, like Arsenal as a football club and as an institution, I grew up. I think we all did. The younger Reds out there. Thierry Henry and Ronaldinho were the 2 players that made me fall in love with football. As a young lad, obviously Liverpool most importantly as well. But I think the joy of watching Henry, and Ronaldinho, was magical. Like Arsenal used to aspire to have the likes of Lundberg, the Perez's, the Sol Campbells, the Gael Clichy's, the Coles as well. Like the Vieira, Vieira, yeah. Now you've got Miguel Moreno in the middle anyway, so nice. The game against Brentford felt like a real momentum shift. Was one Arsenal drew. Yeah, it's psychologically, but Doug, we've had that in the past when we've been going up at the league titles against United in the past when you were half decent. Obviously City over the last 7-8 years as well. Football, as well as it being played massively on the pitch, it's all about in the mind as well. And even press conferences, players having jabs with each other. It's what's needed to be done, to win. I think it was a right interview a couple of weeks ago where he said after the game, we're putting on the pressure and all that, paraphrasing, but he said something along that lines, and he was like, "Yeah, nice one, Declan. Never in a million years worth 100 million. Nah." Good defensive midfielder, sounds. But again, Arteta misusing him again this season, playing him as an 8. It's like, nah, what are you doing, man? It all went wrong when he got that bad back Coutinho. Yeah, 100%. Yeah, it's madness, mad. They well, yeah, it's madness. That madness. Big up there, Ants. How are we, mate? Hope you had a very good. Hope you've all had a very good Sunday evening. If you are watching or listening or whatnot, hope you've had a very good week. And you do start this weekend. What are you up? Whatever you're working or whatnot, go and smash it on Monday. I know not everyone likes Mondays, but we crack on. We attack it, and we wait for the weekend. And most importantly, we got the Reds on Tuesday, so that's all well and good. All right, Jack. I'll take a 1-0 win Saturday. Yeah. I know everyone's like waxing lyrical about City, but it's a multi-billion dollar pound City team that has just spent 200 million in this window. And Ipswich's budget over the space of the last 10, 15-year period probably exceeds 100 million. So it's there's levels to football as well. Yes, we know Liverpool spend money, but like it's Ipswich. And Ipswich's priority this season. Speaking of Ipswich, we'll quickly go into little stats in terms of that game as well. Delap chat, obviously the former City Academy player, Delap. But yeah, big up there, and quickly have a little look at the City game in terms of their goal scorers. Foden has actually turned up for the first time since the end of last year. So obviously Foden 2 goals, Kovacic, Doku. Chat, what's your thoughts on Doku, really? I think he's going to be gone. I was having this debate with the lads before we go on air. Grealish, are we anticipating him to go back to Villa? What is he now, 29 years old, Villa? Jack Grealish. But certainly, just look at this. Like, it's mad. So yeah, you'd expect. In terms of their league standings as well, where does that leave Ipswich? So you're looking at Ipswich. They've got us on the next game as well. Look at that. You've got Everton playing Brighton on their next match week. You've got Wolves against Chelsea. And you've got Liverpool against Ipswich. And even Leicester. Obviously, Ruud van Nistelrooy's only won one. And he's only won one game as Leicester manager. And that was his first game, as we know. So, yeah, chat. Are you anticipating... The one thing with Ipswich, are we anticipating them to survive? I think if they can survive, would be massively, as it has been already this season, dependent on Liam Delap. Really, I think he's been such a very promising player for Ipswich in terms of a little quick look in terms of their goal scorers this season. Like you do look, yeah, obviously Liam Delap 8 goals in the Premier League. Sammy Smodeks, the former Blackburn striker. I think that was a very astute signing. I think last season, I think he was over like 20 or 30 odd goals in the Championship. I think it's refreshing to see. Like you look at Vlahovic, he done a stellar job. And again, another player, might that be said, that Brighton had in their club. Like their scouts are absolutely on a madness again. And he was obviously Brighton as his younger career, the big Swedish striker. Then he obviously went to Coventry and then he went to Sporting. And I'm hoping he doesn't go to Manchester United. Don't tarnish your career. Not Vlahovic. Who am I chatting? The Sporting Lisbon. If I just call him Vlahovic, you know the lad. I mean, anyway, Gokeres. There we go. Gokeres, the Sporting. So in terms of Liam Delap, need to keep him in this window. Obviously, goals and assists, he has registered 10 goals. Leif Davis as well, a very top left back. If Ipswich do go down, I think he might kind of struggle to keep hold of him. How old is he? So he's 25, but I think he's very underrated in the Premier League. I think him. I know that they're sitting there in the relegation zone, but it's a bit similar because you look and analyse very much Hull when they went down. Liverpool went and got Robbo, and we were all like, well, Andy Robbo from Hull. And the data lads and the data department just went, yeah, sounds, we'll have you. And the rest played out the way, thankfully, did with Andy Robbo. Andy, as we know, does need replacing. Anyway, I think we can all very much agree with that. What a legend he has been for Liverpool. But is it a case where Robbo just needs a bit more competition, really, from Costas or whatnot? So, but yeah, I think the main thing is we need to bring in the next Andy Robbo in the next 12 months, ideally in this window. But if not, I'm not going to be Chat, what are we saying? There's been links with Kirkes at Bournemouth, but I think any club paying 50, 60 million for him in this window. I get we've got the sporting director that did bring him into the football club in terms of Bournemouth. You look at the great work Richard Hughes done at Bournemouth. Might that be might that be said, chat? Like, I'm hoping. I'd love a world where you do see Forest and you see Bournemouth or even Villa. Like, if two or even three of those teams got into, I'd probably say like two, ideally probably two of those three teams. Could you imagine Bournemouth in the Champions League? Matt, obviously, City, if they actually regain a bit of form this season as they have done tonight, I think it will be difficult. But you're looking at Aston Villa, you're looking at Newcastle, you're looking at Forest as well. Let's have a quick look at the table as well. There, chat. But yeah, hang on. Aston Villa just spent, what date's that? Oh, Villa just signed today. They just sold a player. Have they for the Jande Bedenti? Oh, fair enough. Oh yeah, Villa just signed a right winger for 23.7 million. Bit of a madness. I missed that one, chat. But to get to all your comments as well, really do appreciate you all tuning in, everyone. Plays, yeah, Zane, we'll get to that, mate. Obviously, if you haven't checked out the video done on Anfield Index yesterday, Reds, really do appreciate you checking that out. If you haven't already done so, check it out anyway, where we just broke down the key elements really to Liverpool's victory. And it was if you watched the watch along yesterday, I was crying out for Harvey Elliott. I was crying out for Harvey Elliott and Nunez to come on at half time, because that game was just screaming for Harvey Elliott or the likes of Curtis Jones, but mainly Harvey Elliott from his technical point of view in terms of playing between the lines, getting in behind the Brentford midfielders as well. I think Harvey, we've not got many players in Liverpool's team that can do that. I think the one thing is we know that the physical aspect of Harvey Elliott, he hasn't got the physical shape or the physicality of a Dominic Szoboszlai. But what Elliott does have and does possess is that ability to unlock teams from a technical point of view, low centre of gravity, getting in behind the lines. And that's what Liverpool needed. And that's where the 2 goals come from yesterday, as we know. Little simple ball. And shout out to Trent as well, by the way, Chas. I was very critical of him at Manchester, at the Man United game. I think a lot of us were. But I'll tell you what, that first goal, Chas, exceptional. The fact that it ricochets within about a 0.5 second period, and then he has that ability to just go again and not just like switch off, but he puts that ball back in, and obviously Darwin Nunez rechecks his run then. So it's top player, man. Well, Harvey Elliott's instrumental, and he will be very instrumental. A bit similar with Nunez. Elliott have been linked away from Liverpool over the last couple of weeks as well in the January transfer window. And there was a report from Romano a couple of weeks ago and about obviously Harvey Elliott potentially getting linked with like the likes of Brighton and other top teams in the Premier League. So it's going to be interesting, Chas. But the main thing is, if they are to leave in the next 12 months, they'll keep on working hard. You know what type of quality you're going to get from them. And especially if both of those 2 lads do keep on working hard, whatever happens next season. But most importantly, if they fire Liverpool to a league title, they'll go with all our blessing, really. And with Harvey, you look at that, you're looking at his time now, is it 22, 23 years old, needs to be playing more regular football. Whether that is, he's not going to be getting that at Liverpool. And you'd understand, even though he's a massive boyhood Liverpool fan, as we know, but the main thing for Harvey, I think he needs to just play consistently, really. And certainly that's where Liverpool can very much get a bit of a fair bit of money, really, in the transfer window for him. And it's crazy, mate, as well. Would you pick up there, Ants? Would you loan Dan's out? Ants, I'll pose that back to you, lad. I'll pose that back to you as well, chat. Would you loan Dan's out on what Ant said there? Yes and no, mate. I think possibly it all comes down to the main thing with Dan's, as we know, the beginning of the year, as we've already mentioned on the channel this season, the Plymouth Argyle loan that he had at the beginning of the year, and obviously he did get that injury at the beginning of the year, which was disappointing, and then Liverpool recalled him back. I want to be seeing Liverpool, especially with our top talents, like you got Dan's, obviously you've got whatever happens with Ben Doak, but if Ben Doak is to stay in the next couple of years, obviously he was linked with Palace, but I think speaking about Palace, before tonight. I think they've just bought the Millwall right winger. Very highly rated, very highly decorated as well. I think he was 15 odd million for Millwall. I think he's only 22, 23 years old, and he's meant to be a very good player. And he predominantly plays down that right hand side. So that's another club possibly not going in for Ben Doak anyway. But yeah, with Dan's, if we're going to be loaning him out, and he needs to be getting game time. And I say game time, but certainly going to a top club that plays in a similar style to Liverpool, because there's nothing more frustrating as a manager or as a team or a fan base or whatnot, sending out a player on loan and he's just getting next to no game time. And you're like, it's just a waste of 6-12 months. Because we know Harvey Elliott's loan to Blackburn was massive in terms of him coming back from that injury and getting a good run of like 6-12 months playing time in the first team, especially in the Championship. We've mentioned the Sporting Lisbon striker, obviously playing for Coventry before. This big move to Portugal. The Championship for me is one of the most difficult. I think for all, like when you analyze and when you watch it as well, it makes so many great players. And it does surprise me. I know why a lot of Premier League teams turn their noses up at players in that division. But I'll tell you what now, there's certainly a lot of gems in there in terms of the pool of talent, really. Especially off the back of, obviously, you look at teams like Burnley all getting relegated. But there's certainly a lot of highly talented footballers. And even in the first division and the second division, we know in the 70s and 80s, obviously getting Rushy and John Oldroyd, everyone really that Liverpool bought in the 70s and 80s. Obviously, it's football, as we know, has changed massively, drastically. But I do feel, you look at Jamie Vardy as well, he was given a chance late on in his career. And if Jamie Vardy can do it, I'm pretty sure there's a lot of players down there in the footballing pyramids, but it's all about getting the opportunity, really. Not everyone is graced to be in an academy as a 15, 16-year-old kid to grow up in Liverpool or City's academy. And even the great work that Trent does off the pitch as well, in terms of, and that's a massive point, really, that needs to be a driving force for a lot of young people going into sport that don't reach the next level, having that opportunity. Obviously, Trent supports, obviously, all the footballers really that don't make it, and obviously getting having a backup plan. Really, it's a great initiative that Trent does do, and there should be a lot more support networks out there for players as well, and just anyone in football, really, because they've certainly got the money. Football, it's just about filtering it down to the right places and the right organisations, really. Answer would the loans needs him as well. Doug, the general believe he's better than does us just to do regular games. Yeah, and rare better. Doug, madness. It is what it is. Tom, evening, Jack Lard and chat. No, Tom, as I say to you and everyone chat, never apologise on my video chat. You're all working hard, grafting, or you're busy with your lives. As I said, very fortunate that people do tune into my videos or whatnot, but I still do, and speaking about football and doing what I do anyway, like doing my graphics and all that. But yeah, no one, don't apologise, Tom, and don't apologise anyway. Yeah, nice one for being here, bud. Best is banks and floods. Our house turned out it was a river. Well, Tom, I was reading that serious, I was going to say, until I actually read the later of it as well. Tom, I'll try to quickly get the. Has anyone seen the little meme of Darwin Nunez on circulating on Twitter? Someone's done a great little Photoshop. Certainly much better than my photo editing work, as you can see already on the channel. There was I've got it saved in my camera gallery anyway, because I sent it to the lads. Probably been bouncing from around. Is it thanks to me, you can expect flooding in Manchester and North London, and it's just got a picture of Nunez cut out, or Nunez's head on a weatherman, and that was flying around on X, and that was great. It was great anyway. Do you want to be us? Do you wish you were Liverpool Football Club with all of our trophies and all of our quality players? But sadly, they can't be. And they just love to sing about Liverpool. Like they just were ingrained in their heads anyway. Tony, get your tinfoil hats out, lad. Yeah, tinfoil hats at the ready after the full-time whistle at the Emirates, chat. It's the most blatant handball. Kai Havertz was playing volleyball in the 6-yard box, lad. Go ahead, son. Um, certainly, if he finishes and retires playing football, he can make a career out of being a volleyball player. Certainly got the height anyway. He's a big lad anyway. So yeah, Tony. Never handball. Like you'd think that none of these supporters have ever played football in the park or at any form of level. Like I get sometimes I'm massively deluded, and you know me, chat, if you've watched me for many of the years. But I know that. But there has to come a point where there's being deluded, and then there's just knowing the laws of the game. So yeah, handball. But yeah, nice one, Tony. Oh, very good evening, lad. Rory, evening, Jack. Hope you had a lovely Sunday, mate. Yeah, it was. Apart from the Everton result, Tony. Most importantly, hope you had a very good night, mate, and you've had a very good weekend. I know we all was. But yeah, apart from the Everton game, but Spurs, man, it was Poch. I say Poch, bloody hell, not even Poch or Conte could win with Spurs anyway. So no chance. Ange Postecoglou's going to be having any chance of doing anything at that football club. If Conte can't win with Tottenham, no one can ever win with Tottenham. You've even had Mourinho in there, and I know Mourinho was finished about 10 years ago, but he was probably Man United's best manager since Fergie anyway, and they still sacked him. But yeah. But first goal in order. Goal 5 at the back with Gravenberch beside Canate as well. Can see the team trying to reorganise after the first goal in order to go 5 back. The video out yesterday, you can see. Yeah, it was amazing, Rory, innit? Ryan Gravenberch, I don't think he's the main, when you analyse Liverpool, and probably a big skip for another 2-3 years ahead. Hopefully Arnie Slott's still at the club, and Gravenberch is all well and good. Touch Roddy stays fit and everything goes plan really for Liverpool. But yeah, it's amazing, Rory. I think that game, as we remember, was the Fulham game where Liverpool went down to 10 men, and Gravenberch was playing centre half. He's an absolute joke of a footballer. Like, he's an absolute joke. Whether he's playing centre back, central midfield, DM, I'm pretty sure he can do a job up front if we needed him to play in the Ruud Gullit role anyway. Certainly, up front, he could certainly do that. Top player, man. Rory, you know me, mate. Over the years, prior to Liverpool signing him, I wanted us to bring him in before he moved to Bayern. I think he's, and we are very much, and we haven't even really, for me personally, I don't think we've seen the best of Gravenberch yet. I think if you put I'd even say with McAllister as well, if you put Gravenberch and McAllister, them two a bit higher up the pitch, and then you put like a more of a destroyer or more of a ball controller, like a Zubimendi or a player of that ilk that really can just mop up defensively and just allow Macher and Grav to just do what they do. Because I think long term for Liverpool, that's what Liverpool will eventually do. I think once we've brought in a Zubimendi style player or player of that ilk, I think we will see a bit more of a tactical change from Liverpool, because I don't think that's the main plan. We're dealing with it this season. And that's one of the most frustrating things as a Liverpool fan, that we're pigeonholing Gravenberch and McAllister in positions that, yes, they can play there, but in terms of utilising them to their maximum potential as footballers, I think long term it'll be very much a case where we need to bring in a 6 or whatnot. But nice one there, Rory. Lee, how are we, bud? Hope you're well, mate. Great result for us this weekend. Big up there, Luke. And nice one for tuning in, bud. We haven't already done so, chat. I don't know how many likes we're on anyway, but we haven't already done so. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you are new as well. Plenty of shows coming out this week. And do drop a like on the video, not just on my shows, but on everyone's shows that you do watch across all social media platforms. Keep our heads down and focus on us. 100% there, Luke. Just focusing on ourselves. Arsenal spent 800 million, same manager for 5 years, one FA Cup. Imagine Slot wins the Prem first year. We will be there. The thing is, before Liverpool had Jurgen Klopp, we were in the Premier League wilderness. We had Rafa, we had Rodgers, we had 1 or 2 seasons where they were close to winning a title, but it was a case that we knew as a fan base it was going to be one challenge every probably 4 or 5 years. It was never a consistent level of performance really from Liverpool prior to Jurgen Klopp coming in. Yes, we spent money, but we spent it on absolute utter rubbish, in all honesty. And we had Roy along the way, and obviously Kenny steered the ship. And we're so blessed that Kenny come back and done what he done at the difficult moments of the football club as well. Obviously won a trophy along the way. But yeah, the money Arsenal have spent, madness. Arsenal should never have got rid of Unai Emery. Unai Emery, good evening. He should have very much been at Arsenal. But, as the football sphere that we do live in now, it's all about instant gratification, really. You want your team straight away. That's not how football works. Like, even this is what's going to be absolute madness. It's gone against the grain, really, in terms of Liverpool. As much as all of us, especially me, we want one or two signings. We're not expecting 10 signings. We want one or two players coming in, but Arsenal, mate, they were meant to have built off the last 2 years, but Arteta, from a technical point of view, he's went backwards, and he's just started pumping balls into the penalty area and off corners. It's you've got Odegaard and you've got Declan Rice, two of the best midfielders in world football when they are playing at their maximum level. But he's got them playing on the edge of the box or even on the halfway line. You're like, what are you doing? Let Odegaard go and express himself in the middle. Like, yes, you might not have a striker, but you're like, try being a team like Brentford that we played yesterday. Try being a team like Ipswich and the financial resources that those football clubs have, the lack of their resources. Like, look at Ipswich tonight, getting walloped by City 6-0. Their fans are made up to be in the Premier League. They're not asked about getting beat 6-0. They know their big games are against the likes of Leicester and other teams around there. But they're just there for the vibes. Their fans have just seen Kevin De Bruyne, Haaland rock up to their stadium. And for what their club's been through over the last since they've been in the lower divisions, it's about playing the big teams. Not everyone is blessed like Liverpool or a City or United. United about 10 years ago when you were actually winning trophies. Like, not everyone is. It's like, obviously there's expectations as every top level club, but Arsenal, the money that they spent, he needs to be getting more out of that as well. Sam said, yeah, it was mad this mate, yeah. Arteta in phase 5, so yeah, it's mad. The main thing is, for every football club, the most important signing, and similar when Klopp come in, similar when Arne come in as well, the biggest, most important sign for any club in European football is your manager or your head coach really coming in. Them coming in and stepping their philosophy on the team as well. But sometimes when you do analyse teams as well, it comes from the fundamental squad that you have. Because Arne Slot could have easily come into life at Liverpool and struggled. But he knew he was coming into a core of great, world-class talent. He didn't come in, Arne Slot didn't come in like the big I am, like Arteta going, oh, I know what I'm going to do. No, he worked hard, he grafted. And I think it was an interview with like Robbo, and when he was done that round table for LFC TV. And even they said, like Robbo and Salah, like you were saying, it's a race to get into work because the manager's already in like an hour before, like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. That's how hard Arne has worked, and his technical staff as well. It's not just been magic that, of course, he come into a squad, but still, you've got to come in and come in with a philosophy, and you've got to come in with a game plan. You just can't just turn up with, like, yes, we got Van Dijk, yes, we got Alisson, yes, we got Salah. Like, you've got to work hard. And if you want to, like, for any league title, fortunate enough, Liverpool have won the league title 19 times. As a fan base, doesn't matter if you support Liverpool in the 70s, 60s, 50s, or whatnot. It all comes down to the fundamental basics every single season. Keep your head down, working hard, and whoever wins the league at the end of the year always does eventually deserve to win the league title. But yeah, and obviously Forest in the Champions League as well. They've won 2 European Cups. Liverpool in the 70s really going head to head with that Forest side as well. So yeah, Bergkamp as well. What a player, man. Those are the players, the Henrys, the Vieiras, the top players that used to be at Arsenal, but now they've got the levels of very much diminished as a football club, really. But yeah, and even Arsenal, when they come to Anfield, was it 89? I wasn't born then anyway, but you've seen the documentaries and everything on Arsenal. Could you imagine that this Arsenal team doing what they did in is it 89 or when it was anyway, not in that period where Arsenal turned up at Liverpool and had to win by two clear goals, and they won the league at Anfield. But you can't imagine that Arsenal team currently to do that. Yeah, they haven't got the bottle really, to say the least. But yeah, top player, man, and Henry, top man. Top player, as we all know. Arsenal have next Saturday week, and we have more points drops for Arsenal as well. Yeah, Tony, just let them, as I said, let them crack on, really, and we'll keep on doing, we'll keep on grinding away. It was, I love the way Liverpool had our mini crisis, and it was like a couple of draws, but it is what it is. Arsenal City, yeah, bearing on that, Tony, we'll quickly get the Arsenal fixtures. Yeah, we'll just have a little look at the table at the minute here, chat. Just have a little look at the table. Current standings as it stands itself. As we know, Liverpool, obviously ahead of Arsenal by six points anyway. That goal difference is looking very nice, isn't it, chat? Obviously, scoring 50 goals, Liverpool's 20 goals conceded as well. But you look, obviously, Manchester City, their big game against Chelsea. It's mad to think when you do look at Chelsea's position in 6. Was it just before Christmas or whatnot? Or before January? They were like 2 points behind Liverpool. Like the drop, like no one's really talking about Chelsea. I know Chelsea coming into this season, really, there was not a lot of big expectations. This was meant to be Maresca's year where he embeds his philosophy, similar with Arne Slot. Both of those managers were meant to come into the first time managing both football clubs and just being a bit more of a stable, implementing their philosophy. Obviously, they're still they don't. So Chelsea is still only a point off Manchester City in 4th, and Newcastle. As we know with European teams in England as well, chat. As long as the English teams do well in Europe, statistically, go into the last stages of the competition, then England should theoretically get the 5th spot. So it's madness. We will be there if Bournemouth get a European spot. Could you imagine? Areola, what a top manager he's been, man. And we'll have a little look at Arsenal's fixtures. So you look at their form here, chat. Obviously, draws against Brighton, obviously lost to Newcastle. That was obviously in the first leg of the League Cup, and they've got Arsenal. Is it next week or whenever we've got our second leg in that game? Anyway, a draw and Villa as well. But you do look at Arsenal's fixtures here, chat. As you can see, so they got Villa. Just played Villa. Dynamo Zagreb. Let's have a quick look where Arsenal in the Champions League format. Arsenal currently do find themselves 13th, third with 13 points. So a win for Arsenal against Zagreb would put them on 16 points. Theoretically, would they be? No. Unless those teams in that bracket from like 5th to 8th didn't get a win. So still a lot to play for, but be interesting. They should batter Dynamo Zagreb, really. But you do look at this, chat. You look at Wolves. That's not going to be an easy game, chat, in all honesty. I think that Wolves manager, he's done absolutely phenomenal stuff in recent weeks since he's come into life at Wolves. I think the Gary O'Neill was crying out for centre-halves. I know they've just recently, was it 2 weeks ago, they did sign a League One centre-half. He come into the football club and very much needed reinforcements. You look at Wolves from was it Monday Night Football the week before last? They analysed Wolves from a data point of view, and it was I think it was Tom Kearney when Carragher was on with Tom Kearney, and he just said they just need to start keeping clean sheets because Wolves do score goals, really, to say the least. Anyway, it's just been a matter of closing the back door open, really, and just shutting up shop. So you're looking at Arsenal. That's not going to be an easy game, the way in which Wolves have really come back into a bit of form over the last couple of weeks. Girona, Arsenal win that one anyway, but it's the City game, innit, chat? The main thing is with us, when you speak about our fixtures, be in the same position that we are currently, Tony, as we said there, with the fixtures and that, mate. We focus on ourselves, but we can still be in the same level points in that regard in terms of City and Arsenal, then ideally a draw would probably suit, or a draw would suffice really for us as fans really. And obviously you're looking at those those games as well. You're looking at City, you're looking at Newcastle as well, Leicester away from home, and then obviously Arsenal versus West Ham. So there's a lot really in that regard. But Liverpool just gotta focus on ourselves, let them ourselves do the business as well. Big up there, chat. And yet Liverpool winning our 6,000th game yesterday, chat. How many games have you watched of Liverpool, chat? That'll be an interesting one in your lifetime, do you reckon? Tell you what, 6,000 games for Liverpool. We know certainly we haven't watched 6,000 games. But yeah, it's madness. It's win the Prem. Big up there, Callum. So yeah, what a picture that is. Bob and Bill. What legendary figures of the football club. Chat. As I said, chat, go and check out obviously LFC TV and all the great documentaries. I do love watching documentaries as well, like just learning about Liverpool's history. It is really good because Liverpool wouldn't be the club it is today, especially without those two men, and even certainly the foundations they built for the football club, really. Rotate a little. There's some Luke. For Leo, Ipswich, we can't underestimate. No game in the Premier League is easy. Get the 3 points and focus on the next game. Yeah, I think that's been the main thing. I think not just this season, Luke, but I think Liverpool going into the years to come, really, just one game at a time. As we said, the Premier League, we just mentioned already tonight, the quality in the Championship. We know the Premier League, the ferocity, like the speed in which the game is played in the Prem. Like, it's mad. Even if you were to watch the football, like these players in the Premier League, speaking this with the lads as well. Could you imagine if you were just trading like with the players? Like, it's like the speed of the game in the Premier League is an absolute joke. Like, say if like the average Joe, we were in like a Liverpool team and we were sat on the halfway line, like we literally wouldn't even get. Would be 0.5 north of a second really, and we get intercepted. Like the speed, whether you're watching on telly or if you're in the ground or whatnot, the speed in which Liverpool play, and especially playing at the top level, it's that's why football will always be football in itself, really. Why it has millions of fans around the world. Such a great technical sport as well. Physicality from a technical point of view as well, the technical understanding, and there's so much that goes into football that is just so fascinating, really. It's just it's absolutely amazing, really. Especially when you see like the modern day, like especially Liverpool players, just top players, just like the Yeti. I remember, was it Gerrard's gone by when he used to play for Liverpool, just drilling in a pass. It's so important that the modern day footballer drills in a pass into the feet of like your players as well. It's going at like 100 miles an hour. If they played that to us, the ball would just ricochet. Certainly would ricochet off my head and go off my shoulder or whatnot. I'd probably be on the floor anyway. Especially with Gerrard whacking it at you. But yeah, it's so fascinating, man. But yeah, bumps. Yeah, Tamo. That really does my head in. Ed Sheeran, you've done a couple of Clash decentish tunes anyway, but mate, you got man in a match after when he interrupted the Man United manager anyway. Chad, were those quotes from Amarin today correct? Of him just absolutely throwing that Manchester United team under the bus? Was that correct? Like, just basically saying what we all think and what Liverpool fans have been saying for the last 5-6 years. That United, that is the worst United team that's played ever for United. It's mad. Trent's played quite well. Yeah, so he had a top game, Trent. I think that was more like it, the hunger, the desire, really. But even still, when he went forward, when even defensively, yesterday, let's have a quick look at his data points anyway. He was Liverpool's best defender. I know Ibu and Virgil had a very good game as well. That's not me saying that he didn't. But Trent, especially the back end of that game, the last 25 minutes when Trent went a bit more central, obviously when Gravenberch dropped a bit more deeper, as obviously the chat you've already alluded to. But Trent just more or less controlling the midfield. It was refreshing to see, especially when you got a player of Trent's quality. I know people do criticise, but I tell you what, if Trent could defend and attack with the same amount of quality, he'd be the best right back in the last 30 years. And we've had some very good right backs, might that be said. We've had Cafu, we've had Dani Alves, we've had Mike on, like top level right backs, Philip Lahm. Bit similar to Trent from a technical point of view. Philip Lahm, obviously Philip Lahm could play right back, left back, DM. He could do an absolutely phenomenal job, really. But Trent's, yeah, top player, man. And I'm hoping he stays. Chat. I know there's been so much talk and all that, but bit similar when we spoke about Nunez at the top of the show as well. Trent's confidence would have been on the floor. He loves this football club. Yeah, could you imagine? It's bad enough me like being disappointed and overs when we do our post matches and pre match shows as well. We're like, oh, we're fuming. But if you're a fan like Trent, he's playing for the football club. He wants Liverpool to be winning titles every single season as well. And I'm pretty sure he might have had a little word with the owners as well, saying, lads, what are we doing? Like, we need a bit of investment. We need a bit of help in the squad as well, especially when you got the captain over the last couple of seasons and Virgil van Dijk saying we need a bit more investment in terms of the playing stuff to help that as well. But yeah, a made up storm for Trent, especially for Trent and Darwin Nunez, really, chat. Two of the lads that have been going through the mill in recent weeks. When we critiqued them, but I think if those two lads can fire Liverpool to a league title, especially Trent, lads, go for it, lads. And there's big games on the horizon for Liverpool. Chat, I don't know if you've seen the fixtures for Liverpool. Like, it is apps at the back end of the season. Hopefully, could you we'll quickly look at Liverpool's fixtures, but Liverpool at the back of the season. Hopefully, we've got the league wrapped up by then. But if we haven't, it'll be a little bit of an interesting run-in, really, if I can get it up. Where is it? Everton. No. I quickly have to get it up on here. But in terms of the Premier League for Liverpool, chat, the final fixtures for the Reds for the season, we've got Palace at home. That's going to be, hopefully, we are lifting the league title on that final day at the end of May, on the 25th of May. Liverpool go away to Brighton in the second to last game, but the last four fixtures for Liverpool at the end of the season. Hopefully, we all get guard of honours from all those teams. It would be lovely. We will be there. So you've got Chelsea away on the 3rd of May. The 3rd of May, Liverpool play Chelsea away. Then we go to at home against Arsenal on the 10th of May. That's the third to last game of the season. Then we've got Brighton away. Hopefully Brighton are on the beach. But if they are competing for the European spot, that's not going to be an easy game either. And then you've got Palace at home. So as we know, chat, the games are coming thick and fast. There's no games easy, but it's hopefully would be magical if Liverpool do get a guard of honour. And the quicker Liverpool get the league wrapped up, then I think it just allows Liverpool a bit more freedom in the Champions League as well. But we just got to focus on ourselves. One game at a time. I know I'm jumping ahead of ourselves, chap, but if you can't get excited about this Liverpool team, then what's the whole point of being a fan anyway? Because we're absolutely bossing at the minute, and long may it continue. If Nunez helps us to number 20, then we sell him in the summer. Sure, we'd all be happy as well. Yeah, and as I said, Liverpool we've had so many dross players, and Nunez for me does not go in that category. Like, it's mainly talk from rival fans. Like, you look at Chelsea, you look at Man United, they've had Lukaku's, they've had absolute dross at their football club, and obviously the Ipswich fans go and you just an effing an awful Andy Carroll yesterday as well. Like, if you haven't learned from Bournemouth last season, that was getting chanted, and Darwin Nunez bangs one in the 30 yards. So, rival fans in the stadium, keep on singing that, especially if Darwin Nunez scores as well. It gives him the fire. I think it was a famous quote from Cristiano Ronaldo as well. He just loved being in the environment of like a gladiatorial arena. He said he used to like just big him up even more. And it's just about how Nunez deals with that in terms of like inside the stadium. I'm pretty sure it does fire him up. in a good way as well. And I'm made up chat, as we said in the watch long on Anfield Index yesterday, about like he's very lucky boy not to be sent off chat. At that time, it was only that I spoke to the lads today. I didn't even know. Obviously, Nunez did get a yellow card, but I didn't think for the life of me. I thought it might have been a potential red straight away with obviously the challenge, but thankfully the referee Nunez was already on a yellow before that challenge. It was already on a yellow, sorry. But thankfully, the referee, we got a bit of the rub of the green. But as fans, we all hold our hands up and say, yeah, Nunez got lucky with that. But yeah, as long as there's no handball deflections, would be sound. But yeah, there was the as Anne said there, Kone Doherty, Connonier as well, Rio as well. So top talent there, and Tony saying also Connor Scallon as well, top player, man. Just got to keep on working hard, the lads, and pretty sure they'll get their opportunities, mate. Yeah, the loans of Blackburn as well. Connor Beck as well, chat. Is Connor Beck out on loan this season? I think he is, isn't he? Big up there, Charlie. Big up there, Charlie. Hello, Jack lad. How are we, Charlie? It's been a while. It feels great with the win, mate, considering the last couple of results. Yeah, we've just got to keep our heads, mate. We've had a very good couple of weeks, mate. But yeah, they've had this manager, like in terms of this manager for Arsenal, really, he's not good enough. As I said, in terms of Mikel Arteta, he's not good enough, really, and they really need to get rid of him. The ball was literally flying wide as well. Yeah, that's madness. Absolutely madness in itself. Big up there, Charlie saying believe. I think it's Believer you mean there, mate. Looks another gem for Brighton. Yeah, top player, mate. But rightly so, Brighton with their academy scouting. A joke, mate. Absolute joke. I think if anyone wants to get him out there, football club, they're looking at what, north of like 600 plus, not 600 plus. That's a whole bloody football club, 60 million plus. But yeah, just I'm just made up. You look at teams like Brighton, you look at teams like Brentford as well. They haven't got the biggest budgets in the world, but when they do spend money or they do recruit well, not like 7 out of 10, 8 out of 10, the majority of it does work out really well. And that's all you can do with a football club. Sometimes, as we know, you can't always spend your way out of trouble in football. And that's difficult. I know the climate we live ourselves and we love transfers and all that. But when you look at clubs like Brighton and Brentford, like if they'd done that, like look at, and fair enough, Forest, you've spent money, but that was risky to say the least. Like it was spending a lot of money on that. But what they done really, really well was they recruited extremely well in terms of the players that they did bring into their football club as well. Like Murillo, top player, man. As we said, going into that, when we done the watch long for the Forest game and Anfield Index, as I said, I was bigging up Murillo before that game as well. Top player, he's what, 22, 23. He, for me, will be already, not that he needed it after this season, but will be on a whole host of top level teams, radars, really. And yeah, his valuation, especially off the back of this season, if they do get into the Champions League football, his valuation would have absolutely went through the roof off the back of this season. But he's certainly a top player to keep an eye on, chat. Not that we didn't need to be reminded of him, but I tell you, I think he's destined for the very top if he keeps on working hard. Murillo, very much Forest, top player. I think Slot wants 3 integral, interchangeable midfielders. It's from Tony that can play every midfield position, makes it totally fluid, and also don't get players in the position they can't play as well. 100% there, so 100% mate. It's having that option. I think obviously Liverpool in the 70s and 80s, Liverpool had bare squad depth. Like we had top talent across the park. And obviously in those years, Kenny was a record transfer fee. I think it was in around 400 million at that time, which then Liverpool were breaking transfer fees back in the 70s and 80s. We were doing it then. And for any top side, sometimes, as I've just mentioned with the teams in terms of you can't spend your way out of trouble, but that was in regards to me referencing the teams at the bottom, really, the bottom of the pyramid. Not everyone's got the financial resources of a Liverpool, of a Manchester City, of an Arsenal as well. like, do you think like Arsenal spent 100 million on Declan Rice? Like, fair enough, top player, but for me, they massively overpaid with him. He's a top player, don't get me wrong, but for me, he's not a £100 million player. Neither is Moses Caicedo. Like, you look at the players, like, I know, go back 20 years ago when you got Zidane going for a big transfer fee from Juve to Real Madrid. That was a big fee then. But, like, you look at, like, the most expensive transfer fees now, and you're looking at, like, Pogba, you're looking at Anthony, you're looking at Declan Rice. It's like the quality in player is massively diminished in terms of the players of the 2000s. Like, we all know football's massively changed, but if you rewind 20 years ago when you would have said, yeah, this fella, Anthony's going to Manchester United for 80 odd million, all the managers, even Fergie at the time, would have went, how many Ballon d'Ors has he won? It's like, well, he's is man in a match. Well, is highlight reel at Manchester United is just being a fidget spinner on a football pitch, going around in circles on the ball, around and round and round and round and round. So it's going to be one of them. But yeah, so. But yeah, Arsenal fans believe they can get Zidane as manager. Zidane as manager, Luke. Could you imagine? Zidane wasn't even coming to Liverpool. At least, yeah. Zidane will never leave. I think that Real Madrid job will always come back to him. He's obviously already been at Real Madrid twice as a manager. It's mad that Real Madrid sacked him, considering he won 3 back-to-back Champions Leagues as well. But that's the levels as well. You look at the period that Chelsea did have for a good 15, 20-year spell. Yes, it was a bit of a madness, really, in terms of them sacking managers, but it was a largely successful period for Chelsea Football Club. But they were bringing in Scalaris, they were bringing in Gus Hiddink, they were bringing in Jose Mourinho's, the Contes. The list is absolutely endless at Chelsea at that period in time. But you knew what you're going to get. Was Gus Hiddink as well. And obviously the lad that come in and won the Champions League in the space of like 6 months. Di Matteo as well. So, yeah, I think that if you go back another 50 years, that's Chelsea fans who won the Champions League. You wouldn't have anticipated him winning the Champions League with them, but it is what it is. And especially Kai Havertz as well, winning them the Champions League against City. Nice one, Chelsea. But yeah, madness. Absolutely madness. Big up, up to Reds. Clary, how are we, mate? Hope you're looking after yourself. A nice one for tuning in, mate. Absolute legend. Yeah. But like, yeah, big up there, Charlie. If you weren't born in the yeah, football is like, well, nah, it's history books. Chat, you don't have to tell your age anyway. It's all good. Yeah, I'm approaching 30 this year anyway, chat. So apologies if anyone's over 30, but time flies. There's a doc on iPlay at the minute about the influence of Scottish men in the game with a special focus on Shanks. Nice one for that, Lee. I'll check that out, mate. Chat, you've done your you got given your homework there, chat. A little bit of the TV time for you. So do you know what it's called, Lee? I'll have a little look tonight anyway. I'll definitely watch that, mate. Well, nice one. Yeah, so definitely check out that podcast with Thierry Henry, and it's a really great, interesting way in which he just articulates himself in terms of, you think of like Henry being the pinnacle player, but as we said, footballers are human, as we all know. But I think sometimes as fans, we kind of, not as every fan around world football, you kind of do forget it sometimes. Like it's like, doesn't matter how much money people are earning in life, just having the basic principles of just treating people like humans really is the most important thing, because you never know what anyone's going through on a day-to-day basis, the difficulties as well. So just respecting each other as well. Treat people how you would always like to be treated. That's one of the biggest mantras I've always lived by anyway. And just look after one another as well. And 100% there as well. Damo, I saw the clip at Twitter. Way back in the day, the whole episode. Oh, there we go there, Demo. Saw the clip on Twitter, the King Kenny on This Is Your Life from the way back in the day. The whole episode is on YouTube. Fashions, yeah, Demo. Could you imagine me with a perm? My hairline's going into Birkenhead at the minute, so yeah, just gotta comb it over as much as I can from a day-to-day basis anyway. But yeah, so yeah, if you can rock the perms, if you can rock the fashion sense in the 70s, most importantly is that he won trophies. I tell you what, you can put those any Liverpool players, especially if they win the league this season. You could go wearing whatever as long as you win our 20th league title this season, mate. Sound. But yeah, certainly. It's always been a fascinating thing in terms of, I think, the cycle, like the madness of obviously Joe 9, obviously the difficulties he went through in a career as well, and obviously the backstory about his haircut as well was very interesting in terms of how and why in which, like the way in which the media spoke about his haircut and they didn't speak about the Brazilian national team. Like, it's just mad, like the elite level sports science, like the psychologist sides as well, football. It's mad. If Nunez has to get an R9 haircut till now at the end of the season, mate, go for it, Nunez. We'll all back you. Even a Mohican, whatever, even full on Darwin Nunez Irish slot. And you went a bit, you got the Al North over the top there, Nunez. As long as it makes you score goals, mate, that's the most important thing, mate. And yeah, be funny if I was oh, and we will be there. We will be there. Probably like 7 wins, 8 players, 100% there, mate. Big up there. Callum Nunez has 3 more goals. Oh, yeah, that's what was it? Sorry, there, mate. Less than Calvert-Lewin, less than Delap. Not good enough though. I think Delap will be a top player though, mate. 6 goals in 22 games is abysmal as well. Yeah, back at Blackburn as well. And do we know how good Conor Beck? Yeah, let's have a quick look. Maybe 1 second here, shall we get Conor Beck's? Owen Beck, sorry. That's that many bloody Liverpool Academy players. Let's have a little look. Seems like Conor, not that one. There we go. Owen Beck, how's he getting on? He was linked. Was it not last season? Was it last season or the year before? He was linked with like a loan move to Bayer Leverkusen. So for the championship this season, he's registered 1,575 minutes, which is quite fair, good going. He's played 7. He started 17 games, had 19 matches. Conrad, what are you, Owen? Bloody hell, Owen, you're getting bloody 1 red card, lad, can't we? But looks like he's been having a decent run. Obviously, recently against Portsmouth and Portsmouth in the with a 3-0 win there, looking like potential man of the match. So looks like he's doing well, chat. Still only 22 years old, but I think in terms of his development, in the way in which Liverpool's academy management staff really analyse Owen, he listens to the technical directors at Liverpool, very highly regarded at Liverpool. But the main thing is, I think for Arne Slot as well, chat, I'd love Owen Beck to be given an opportunity at Liverpool. Will it happen? Time will tell, really, fundamentally. But I think from a technical point of view, only goes to show, as I said, was linked with a couple of Bundesliga teams not too long ago as well. So if Owen needs to come in next season, the back end of this year, and he has a good run of games, I think could be an option, really. But Lee, big up to you out there, mate. Yeah, we will conclude here tonight, mate. Being on here for a good an hour and 20 minutes, chat. And we still got 12 of yous in. Much appreciated, everyone. You're absolute legends. We'll be live tomorrow for the build-up show for the Lille game anyway. As I said, a massive thank you to everyone that has been supporting on Anfield Index as well. As I said, chat, if you're wondering where the watch-alongs are this season, all the watch-alongs will be on Anfield Index, and I'm loving it. I'm loving being part of the furniture as well. A great opportunity it has been this season. And definitely check out. I do it like an analysis after the game as well, not just on my shows. Make sure you get involved with Anfield Index as well. They've been going for 14 years. I know a lot of you probably do know, especially that do listen to a lot of podcasts as well, but they are venturing this season into the YouTube sphere, and it's been great. And hopefully done a show with Grizz, which is great, and hopefully we'll do a bit more shows with Grizz this season, especially I have to ask him on my channel, but he's a very busy man, Grizz. He's a top man as well. And but yeah, this season I'd like to start sending a couple more messages. I'll get a bit more. If you are watching and you've got a Liverpool channel or whatnot, and you want to do a collab or whatnot, just drop us a message on the social media. I will get back to you as always. But I know everyone, when they do the YouTube and all that, they're very, very busy, as they said anyway. But chat, I'll try and get a bit more people on as well, 100%. Tuesday, Amsco's team in already. We're on Sunday, lad, but nice one. I'll be asking for that again tomorrow. And but I'm going with Kelleher, Simicast, Endo, Canate, Bradley, Jones, Maka, Gakpo, Nunez, and Chiesa. Certainly, mate. And chat, that was it. Go and check out that Chiesa. If you've got Amazon Prime Video, go and check out the Chiesa documentary. It's like an hour or so long. And it just goes through what he went through in terms of, like, it was the difficult journey. And this is why I think he'll do so well at Liverpool. He's at the right club that will love him, especially if he is scoring goals, assisting, and just works hard, really. But it was an interesting documentary. Go and check that out. Yeah, Daglish was 440k. That was a British record at the time. Yeah, that's just shy of Salah's weekly wage, that, Tony. Madness. But yeah, it's a bit of a mad one. Callum's quickly got his start, Evan. Big up there, chat. Yeah, chat, we'll be live tomorrow. We will be live at a similar time. I do apologise there, chat. Yeah, we will be live at a similar time. So tune in tomorrow, Reds, at 8:30. We'll be live at 8:30. We'll have a little look at the game on Tuesday, our thoughts, your score predictions as well. But if you are watching till this late, massive thank you, as I said. If you are watching on the repeat, a massive thank you. And hopefully, if you've discovered Anfield Road TV for the first time, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Put your notification bell on as well. But Reds, go and smash the week anyway. Monday, whatever you're up to, working or whatnot. Look after yourselves, and I will see you tomorrow at 8:30 GMT UK time for the pre-match build-up show. But Reds, look after yourself. Have a good day tomorrow, and I will see you at 8:30 tomorrow. To that, Reds.